Thank you so much for joining us on our first episode of the Empowered Simply podcast. In this first episode, we're going to try and lay the groundwork for what it is that we're hoping to do and the kinds of people who might be interested in listening to the podcast or checking out our resources at empoweredsimply.com. First episode is titled Simply Does Not Mean Easy. A good way to start this episode is with a relatively straightforward question, and that is, do you effortlessly accomplish your goals by finding a clear pathway to success? In my experience, and I think the experience of many people I've known, most people would probably say no. Doesn't mean you're not making progress, but there's something about it being effortless, or a clear pathway to success, or the amount of success you achieve. If you answered no to that question, then this podcast may be for you. In this episode, we'll start at the beginning and focus on what it means to become empowered simply, who might be interested, and what you can expect from our resources, should you choose to join us. Over the course of the entire podcast series, we'll progress through a series of topics that will support you in learning essential skills that can help you set and meet your goals. Your goals could be anything from diet to exercise, from parenting to relationships, and also include things like professional goals or almost anything else you can think of. The basic idea is you set the goals. We hope to help you develop specific skill sets to meet those goals. Your time is valuable. There are plenty of podcasts you could listen to. We thank you for taking the time to give us a listen. If you find anything we share today helpful, or think it might be a good fit for someone you know, please subscribe, like, and share our content. We should probably start at the very beginning. Our name, Empowered Simply. You can find some information at empoweredsimply.com, but much of the information is going to be shared through our Empowered Simply podcast. In terms of our name, simply, it's important to realize, does not mean easy. If we take just a regular dictionary definition and look at what does simply mean, we're talking about something without ambiguity, without embellishment, and directly. That's very different from something easy. That could be defined as causing or involving little difficulty or discomfort, requiring or indicating little effort, thought, or reflection. Clearly, easy is different from simply. The keys in terms of our resources at Empowered Simply is that we're going to focus on clear, concise information. Hopefully things that come across and you can say, okay, I get that. And I can get that into my daily routine, or I can practice that, or I understand that. And we're going to focus on usable or actionable steps and resources. Again, the idea is to look at what it means to be empowered and find very achievable pieces that you can understand and you can put into your life in a very productive way. Think about empowered. So what is that? Again, if we start with a dictionary definition, basically what we're talking about is having the knowledge, confidence, means, or ability to do things or make decisions for oneself. The podcast really is about becoming empowered. Regardless of goals or skills, you bring the goals, and we'll talk about goals. We are hoping to help, with a single caveat. There isn't going to be a magic pill for a quick fix. We're going to work on building skill sets for empowerment. The keys here will have to do with the components. We're going to focus on these same things: knowledge, confidence, means, and ability. Where knowledge has to do with you being aware of what it is that you're hoping to accomplish and how to effectively approach that. There will be a clear relation to critical thinking as part of that planning process and implementing the steps towards your goals. In terms of confidence, you'll come to trust in the likelihood of some course of action being effective. It'll take time, as is the case with confidence in every situation. But as that confidence grows, your conviction in taking steps to achieve your goals will improve. We'll talk about the means. and will help provide, we hope, the resources to start down the course of action you've decided upon. Finally, ability. These will be the actual skills you can use every day to select, plan, and move towards your goals. The other key, then, is oneself. This is appreciating the role you have in this overall process. And we're going to talk a lot about your role in helping you become more empowered. So in this particular episode, we're going to move relatively quickly through 3 features to try and clarify these so you know if this is worth your time or if you need to keep looking. In terms of the audience that this is all being designed for, hopefully you'll find that you fit. Some of the key considerations are that you're open to new things. We'll maybe present some things that you've come across before and seem very familiar and easy to accept. We may also present some things that require you to think and question, does that really make sense? And be willing to say, okay, well, I'm not sure, but I'm going to listen. Along with that, the podcast is for people who are willing to have self-reflection, to think about a topic and say, does that apply to me? Or how do I fit with that? Another way to think about it is, are you the kind of person who says, that didn't go as well as I had hoped? What could I have done differently? What do I need to learn to do it better? If you're willing to have those sorts of thoughts and tackle your findings and make some adjustments, then this might be the podcast for you. And finally, it's really for people who are willing to say, there isn't going to be a quick fix for this, but it's worth my time. I'm going to work at it day after day, maybe month after month, because that goal is worth it. If you approach things in that way and you're not looking for a really quick fix, again, this might be the podcast for you. Some things will actually be very easy, things you've already done and you've taken for granted they're so easy. And other things will be the sorts of things you've never thought of, or that you thought of and you didn't think you could do. But the idea is you're willing to think about that long-term goal off in the horizon and start the journey. Our goal is to help you achieve your goals through carefully considering all the things that go into that and making adjustments where you need them. So the purpose, what are we proposing to do? Really, all we're trying to do is share strategic insights that will hopefully help you acquire the seeds to grow. What you're hoping to grow into is that empowered person who can work effectively towards your goals. We're hoping to do that by sharing foundational information, things that get at the when and how you know to do what. Right? All of those pieces that go into decision making. It'll come with knowledge. It'll come with practice. It'll come with confidence. And we're going to help by providing information and resources so that you can make that progress you're looking for. It's really about supporting your skill development. There's going to be a big focus on progress towards mastering goals and achieving goals. The idea is any progress is giving you information that you're on the right track. And as long as you continue to seek out and find progress, you're always going to be closer to your goal. As we go through this, we're going to get into the weeds and talk about structures and methods and experiences that allow you to build those skill sets. Finally, how will we do this? In terms of what we're actually going to present, our format is based on our goal. Our goal is to help you grow and build that specific skill set, and you apply that skill set to your world and your goals. We're hoping to serve as a guide and mentor through our podcast and through our website resources. The downside to all of this is that it's really focused on that goal, and some episodes won't be very exciting. In fact, many probably won't be exciting in terms of entertainment value. We'll try and make them interesting, but it's interesting because of the optimism you will hopefully experience, thinking about how you can use that to do a little bit better than you've done in the past, to make progress towards those goals and start to feel a little more empowered. Therefore, the format's really designed to grow that skill set, which means we've designed it to move through the podcast topics in particular orders so that as you move along, you either realize, wow, I can already do that and I've seen that work, or you learn that thing and ultimately there aren't gaps in your skill set. We're looking to build and support you in acquiring everything you need to work towards your goals. We're not necessarily looking to create something to be entertaining or to be easy. We're looking to build something that will help you become empowered simply. So that's what we're hoping to do, and some information about how we're hoping to do it, at least what we can explain in 15 or 20 minutes. What Empowered Simply is not is a quick fix. We're not proposing to meet your goals in 5 minutes a day or suggest that it's going to be an easy path. We covered that right off the bat. Frankly, you've already figured out the easy things and probably many of the medium things. Those are the things that you go through your day and do exceptionally well with. You don't even notice that it's a potential barrier. And there are things maybe hidden in your daily lives or in your skill set that you're not noticing, or that you could do a little bit different, and that making some adjustment with those things could make all the difference in the world. The downside, as I was saying, is that we're not focused on entertainment, and we're sorry. We're not going to do a lot of storytelling. At least to start, we're not going to do a lot of interviews. Our goal is to help you build a particular skill set that allows you to plan for how to best meet your goals. So, that brings us to basically the end and another question. Are you in? Are you ready to join us? You obviously don't need to decide now, but hopefully this introduction and laying the groundwork will allow you to stop and think, is this going to fit? Am I willing to listen, consider some things differently, and start to build a new skill set so that I can better achieve my goals and become more empowered simply? The next stop, in terms of our episodes and progression, is we'll begin to examine your priorities and your goals. We'll talk about how those things are framed and what the impact of that is, and maybe give you a few things you can work on, if you're willing to do it, to help find enhancements in the way you set and think about your goals. And again, we'll be designing all of this to move through the podcast in order, trying to build that essential skill set and help ensure there aren't gaps along the way. At times, everything will seem easy, it'll seem familiar, and you'll fly right along. And honestly, at other times, it may seem tricky, it may seem counterintuitive, but we hope that you'll join us. Thank you again for listening. If you have any questions at all, please go to empoweredsimply.com and you can connect with us there. Or if you found this at least interesting enough to consider joining us for another episode, please subscribe anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. Thanks.